autumn wedding tips with Bilen and Tessa.
Hi guys, my name is Bilen from Queen of Hearts Floral Design based in London.
And I'm Tessa, Managing Director of A Touch of Nevaeh in Notting Hill.
So the first tip, finding a great wedding venue.
So, I think in terms of finding your ideal wedding venue, don't be afraid to use locations that are outside. Even if you are in a marquee of some sort or you're in an orangery, it's a great season to still have daylight. Even if the sun does go down a lot quicker, make the use of daylight. And if you're having a wedding breakfast that is kind of like earlier in the day, you can really make the use of that. So what I would say is be clever with the location that you choose. If there is ways that light can still come in, then also consider those kinds of venues.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think being versatile is very important.
Yeah.
To find a venue maybe that has outdoor space as well as indoor space for your guests as well, in case they want to get a bit cozy later in the reception.
Yeah.
So I think that is really important when finding a venue. Like you said, an orangery or even some with a barn. One of those ones.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Country houses is really good for an
Love
autumn
that.
wedding.
Love that. Yes.
Tip 2, autumn colour palette.
I love the autumn wedding palette. I love the deep reds. I love the emerald greens. I love the oranges. I just absolutely love an autumn wedding. It matches the leaves outside, but you don't have to stick to that kind of palette. You can go a bit out of the box as well. Maybe a bit of like copper or a bit of gold as well. What would you
I agree. I think that naturally we associate Christmas and festive kinds of winter weddings with silver, and more so coppers, rust and gold more with autumn. And I think mainly because a lot of the types of flowers that bloom in this season tend to be a kind of amber colour. There's lots of, you have eucalyptus here, which is actually, it grows in, it's called brown eucalyptus. So this only grows in this season, which is really, really special, and massively used by a lot of florists to add foliage, but without it being green. So there's lots to play with, and always make sure you ask your florist what's in season. Don't just assume that roses or hydrangeas are not in season, because they are. They just come in different shades depending on what time of year. So from a more styling point of view, what would you kind of say would be the best shade to go for when it comes to tablecloth, table linen, when it comes to napkin colours and things like that?
I like the emerald green. I love emerald green, as you know, and this colour, the burgundy as well, is really nice. I would go for this type of tablecloth.
I think definitely. Yeah, I agree, and I think that there's loads of shades of green. So the emerald green tends to be, it really is associated with royalty, and I love that. And also the purple, the violets and things like that, that's definitely a favourite of mine as well. There's lots of really nice florals that are in the kind of like deep violet colour that are available. And don't be afraid to mix and match your colours as well. Although there is something typically which is an autumn colour palette of browns and ambers and dark green and things like that, you can play with colour. Don't be afraid to use different colours. Purple goes really well with orange, and it goes really well with green. So you can be versatile with your flower choice.
Even a touch of yellow as well.
There's like mustard tones that you can play with. There's lots of varieties.
Definitely.
Tip number 3, working with what's in season.
I think it's really important to work with what's in season. It can work out being cheaper for you as well. So you don't have to source things. You don't need to, go abroad and fly things in as well. So I think as a florist, a floral designer, what would you say?
I'd say a tip from my side, actually, when it comes to budgeting for your wedding and things like that, a lot of people really associate real flowers with being more expensive, and actually that is a complete myth. There is not a huge difference between real and fake, and even if you were to have, you don't have a massive budget when it comes to flowers for your wedding, why don't you try and get dried flowers? Dried flowers are much cheaper. They also last forever, as long as you maintain them, because this is dried and also this is dried, but you can see how the colour has lasted. This is probably about 1.5 years old. But the colour has really lasted, and you know, there's so many things that you can do. So even if you don't want to have 10 million roses in your wedding, or you don't have the budget for that, I'd say definitely think about things like pampas grass, which are dried, you know, and that comes. This is also pampas grass here, which has been dyed to a more copper colour. So there's lots of versatility when it comes to dried flowers, and it's a lot more affordable as well. Yeah.
Tip 4, winter food.
I would say warm foods in season would be like, you know, the pumpkins and the squash, and you can have that as starters. That's what I would recommend to a couple at this time of year.
I agree.
Something warm for your guests.
Yeah.
For fruits, it would be like apples and pears, and I know a lot of people use it for like their wedding cake or to give as a favour as well, which is really good.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Or even for dessert, you can have a nice apple crumble or a tart, you know, just something like that. So yes.
Tip 5, just the right light.
Speaking to photographers, they would say that autumn is the best time to take pictures because of the lighting. You've got the changing leaves as a backdrop as well. There's also the golden hour. It's not really an hour, it lasts for 10 minutes really, but people get really great shots if you time it correctly on that.
From a floral point of view, I would say that I am a massive fan of having a natural backdrop. So no offense to anybody that likes flower walls, but you've got natural, you know, you've got so much like beautiful nature out there, especially during this season. You've got like yellow burgundy, deep reds on one leaf, and it's beautiful to have that as a natural backdrop. And I know a lot of photographers appreciate that natural daylight, and they appreciate natural photography. So yeah, definitely use and utilize your outdoor, because it's free as well.
Tip 6, bridesmaids and groomsmen and their wedding material.
I would say as well, go with more of a heavier material as well. That would be good. Some 3/4 length sleeves, maybe a bolero for the bridesmaids as well. So, you know, it's all in season. And
velvet also, isn't it?
Yes.
Velvet is massively popular with autumn, winter. And you're right, the heavier fabrics, the furs and things like that. You can definitely
fur stoles,
incorporate definitely.
And even for the men, like, don't be afraid. Try and be a bit different as well. You know, get different type of tie, socks as well that stand out. Just, you know, we're not leaving the men out either.
Tip 7, the perfect dress.
The perfect dress for me would be like a 3/4 length sleeve dress. You can go with the furs again, the stoles. You can also go with boleros as well. There's some really nice boleros that can go, and jazz it up with some accessories. You can have some floral arrangements. You can have some floral arrangements in your hair, maybe some, you know, pins as well. So that is really good.
Yeah, I love the hair accessories. You know, having something on the side of your hair is always so beautiful in photography when you get your pictures back. Often hair accessories get forgotten, and a lot of people don't utilize having hair accessories, but it's a really nice touch.
It is.
And if you're not really into the jewellery, I know this is not as popular, and this is more editorial, where we use flowers to make headpieces and things like that. But I've had only very few brides that have had maybe some roses in their hair on the side, which is a really nice touch. It's really, really nice. And you know, if you don't want to have real flowers in your hair, you can definitely use a really nice silk alternative that looks really real. Roses tend to be very popular because you can always find a really good fake rose, like a fake silk one. And again, the good thing about having artificial flowers in your hair is that you can get them in any color. So you can find
Yeah.
a black rose,
That's
or
so
you can
true.
find a blue rose, or you know,
True.
think these flowers obviously don't exist.
True.
So you can go with silk instead of real.
You can find A Touch of Nevaeh on www.atouchofnevaeh.com. We are also on Instagram as A Touch of Nevaeh, Twitter, Pinterest, or The Touch of Nevaeh. Thank you.
And you can find me on at Queen of Hearts Floral Design on Instagram, and also queenofheartsfloraldesign.com. So we're wishing you a wonderful autumn season, and if you are planning your wedding or your event during this time, then please don't forget to reach out to any of the vendors on EBN. There are so many people to choose from with loads of different expertise on the elitevendorsnetwork.com. Thank you very much, guys, and take care.
Have a lovely autumn. Goodbye.
Bye.